Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready? Right.
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks.
Powered by Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Always remember to bet local.
Hello and welcome to week 17 of the Drew and Stu podcast. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. Cam, I had a rough week. Well, it was going great until Christmas Day when I went 0 for 3. My parlays didn't hit. My props didn't hit. Probably the worst Christmas day of my life, Cam, in terms of betting. I was just watching my phone. I'm like, oh, well, maybe if Kelsey scores a touchdown here, I'll rebound. And of course he doesn't, because Travis Kelsey, ever since he started dating Taylor Swift, doesn't know how to play football, Cam. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, well, I guess he's having a lot of fun in bed, and all the things that the attention to detail's gone. Yeah, he's on the party train, and he can't catch a football anymore. Pacheco was good. Thank God we got that one, and then he got hurt, Drew. But I'm going to tell you, like, I had those Kansas City moneyline parlays and stuff. No, I got torched too, and I didn't expect San Francisco to lose in the way they did. If they lost, I thought it'd be by 3.
And I'm the dumbass that I doubled down live. I was like, oh,
so did I.
6.
So did I. Hey, welcome to football. You know what? Lesson learned next year. We got to remember one thing. All the teams that are doing well that don't really have like the hunger, we have to take teams that just have nothing to lose. Loser teams like look at New England and look at these other teams, like teams that just kind of like, you know what? Let's just go beat their ass and hurt their playoff spots, right? Because when you're doing well, I find, and just because you need to win a game doesn't mean you're going to win a game. That's Denver. Like they were horrible in that game.
Oh, man, Denver. Thank God. I had a big parlay, Cam, with Denver -6 as the last leg. I cashed it out when it was 7-3. I was like, I'm on the wrong side of this. I cashed it out. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Great lesson, everybody. Like the minute you feel a game going south early, hit the cash out button. Like I let my stuff go too long, and it's a good lesson learned, you know?
Yeah, it was interesting, but the one game we were right that saved my week, actually, to make it I didn't lose so much, was the Pittsburgh Steelers. We called it. Some of the comments were like, you guys are crazy picking the Steelers.
You know what? The Steelers, for the first time in my life, I actually like the Steelers for helping us out.
They dominated.
They didn't just win. They crushed. That was a great pick. That pick, that should have been our double up, triple up game, because I knew Cincinnati was in trouble that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we trusted San Fran. We look like
stooges,
either. But whatever.
Yep. It happens.
That's how she goes sometimes. And,
can't win them all.
We'll see this week. Watch Baltimore will lay an egg against Miami just to piss me off.
Actually, you know what? They will. But we'll get to that later.
I hope not. But I could see it happening. All right, let's get into this week, Cam. Thursday night football. It's the Cleveland Browns hosting the New York Jets. Browns and Joe Flacco. Still an outside chance at the 1 seed. Never mind just making the playoffs, Cam. The 1 seed. If Miami beats Baltimore, it'll come down to week 18. It'll be crazy. Can you imagine Joe Flacco and the Browns hosting like the playoffs going through Cleveland?
We had a joke a long time ago, and my girlfriend met Gabe. She's like, take the Browns to the Super Bowl, meaning like take a dump, but he didn't really understand the joke at the time. And then now I'm looking at the Browns going, I wish I had futures on these guys. Even with I know Flacco, he's one of those guys. He's just an old guy who gets it. And Drew, their defense, they like this guy and they're playing for him. They took their defense on the road against Houston. I know it's a backup quarterback, but what Cleveland's doing to teams, like take a look at this. They're a 10-5 football team. They're 7-1 like ATS at home, and they're 7-3 ATS.
Oh yeah, if they get home
10
games, Cam.
No, if Cleveland gets home games, I think
do not want to go to Cleveland.
I don't think Baltimore. Like the thing about Baltimore is Lamar Jackson. They're amazing, but Cleveland's defense is the type of team that can shut them down. Listen, Flacco used to play for the Jets. The Jets threw him into the ditch. He says, I don't really care about that stuff because he's a classy guy. But in the back of my head, if me and you work for a company and they threw us on the street and now we're doing successful with another one, you don't think you want to kick him in the nuts? I think Cleveland beats the guys.
Imagine how much better the Jets would be this year, Cam, with Joe Flacco.
Honestly, if the Jets had Joe Flacco with that defense, they'd be a hell of a lot better than 6-9. Listen, Drew, this line's going up. It feels like a trap because everyone's taking Cleveland, but I can't take the Jets, especially on the road. And Cleveland's defense might get more cover 7.5. They might get 2 touchdowns. So I'm taking Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Cam. I'm going to go Cleveland -7.5. It's a lot of points, but honestly, I don't see the Jets scoring 10 points. So Cleveland needs to get to 20 to cover this, and I think they could do that against this Jets defense. The Jets haven't looked great. I mean, last week it looked like they were going to absolutely blow them out of the water, and then all of a sudden the game's close again at the end, and I was like, what's going on? And Robert Saleh on the sideline is just like
comeback tour.
Look
at all these old guys. Brissett, Flacco. It's an old guy's world in the NFL. Like the thing about them is they've been in these situations before, and they know how to handle themselves. And once you accept your role as a backup, you're going to make money in this league. Like, look what Brissett's done. He's got himself.
And they're just letting it loose too. When he comes in, he's just like whipping it around the field. Right. He doesn't care if they make a mistake. I'll just get benched again. I don't care.
Exactly. Just put me as a second, third stringer again. I'm still going to get a paycheck. So I'm with you. I agree.
It shows that some of these teams are just dumb, though. Like, how is Flacco sitting on the sidelines for 12 weeks this year, Cam? Then he comes in and he looks like one of the better quarterbacks in the AFC. Like, how are these guys signing all these shitty backup quarterbacks? And you got guys like Flacco on the streets.
Flacco understood, too, that both organizations were smart because they have a great offensive line, and he can't be on a team like Washington because he'd get killed, right? Like, Cleveland is the perfect spot for him because their line holds up, and he can have time to throw. And I'll tell you, Amari Cooper's happy that he joined the team.
Over 200 yards receiving. First player since T.O. to have 3 200-yard games with 3 different teams. It's insane that Dallas traded him. Like, watching this stuff, I'm just like, imagine Dallas still had Amari Cooper. Like,
I know.
And they have all the cap space for him, too. They could have afforded him. It makes no sense. All right, we're both on the Browns. Let's move on to those Cowboys, Cam, hosting the Detroit Lions. They are 6-point home favorites. The Cowboys have been dominant at home, 7-0 straight up, 6-1 ATS. The Detroit Lions, those 6-point dogs. This is a big spread, Cam. Tell me why I shouldn't take the Lions here, because I'm leaning that way.
I'm leaning that way too. I think Dallas will win, but Detroit also, that was a big emotional win over Minnesota. I don't know. That spread looks big, but you know what?
Lost.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, Minnesota, when Nick Mullins threw it that duck at the end of the game, I don't get mad very often because you know what? I've lost so much. We've won so much. It's a roller coaster and you go through emotions, but to throw a ball that bad when you should have won the game, like that could have changed everything too, Drew. We had Minnesota money line and everything, but this is the league we deal with, right? Like you're betting this league, you're playing with fire. Bad things happen, but you know what? I got to take the animal in the Lions. Dallas will find a way to win this game, but asking them to win by margin is a lot, don't you think? Like 6 points. So I'm going to take Leo the Lions.
They've been so dominant,
but they're great. Yes, at home they're 6. We talk about their ATS record at home, 6-1. They've covered the spread. That's amazing. But the thing is, they're like night and day. But Detroit, it's an artificial surface game. They'll be fine there too. That's the thing. If it was Dallas was a home team outdoors, I'd be like, oh, but they're faster on carpet. I don't know, man. I originally had Dallas here, but I'm flipping. I might flip back, but I'm going to take Detroit right now. We'll see how it goes. This looks like a changeable game because I'm torn on the fence here. Like I'm right down the middle.
I'm going to go Lions here as well, just because it's a lot of points. I think if Dallas wins, they could win by 6 or less, and we'll get the cover. But yeah, this could switch, and it wouldn't shock me if Dallas blew them out of the water.
Saturday game too, Drew. Remind everybody. Saturday game.
America's team playing a solo slot on the Saturday for everyone to enjoy. All right, let's move to New Year's Eve, Cam. The New York Giants and Tyrod Taylor, talk about a journeyman, Cam, hosting the LA Rams and Matthew Stafford. Stafford and the Rams coming in as 5.5-point favorites on the road. Listen, man, once Tyrod came in that game against Philly, the Giants all of a sudden almost won that football game, Cam. I think the Giants can keep this game close, but not close enough because Stafford and the Rams are rolling. So I'm going to take the Rams as big favorites on the road here. I don't like it, but
this is one of my favorite games, Drew, and I'm going on the other side. The Giants played with Philly. The Rams are like the Rams stock has been at its highest. This is like where I got to stick to what I do, and if I stick to this system, I'll win more than I'll lose. The Giants also reverse line movement, 6 to 5.5. Another check in my box for the dog. I will take the Giants. I think Tyrod Taylor. I know he's not Italian, but hey, you know what I mean? He's not Tommy Cutlets, but that team, you don't think the Giants fans like an underdog story? If it's not Tommy, it's him as the backup. He comes in there and beats the Rams. I think they win this game outright. I'll take the 5.5.
If the Rams blow this game, Cam, that would be huge implications.
I have a feeling the Giants give them all they can handle and can win this game. You saw what they do. They haven't quit yet. Like they're
I know the issue is that Stafford's a lot better of a passer than Jalen Hurts, Cam. Oh, don't attack me in the comments because it's true. There's no fans or butts.
I agree with you. Don't attack him in the comments. It's fact. He is. But the thing is, the Rams are also one of those teams right now just kind of flying high and whatever. And just because they need a win doesn't mean they're going to get one. This is a very
but they're rolling
spot.
at the right time, Cam. And I think this is it's setting up to have a Rams at Detroit playoff game, which everyone wants. We want to see Stafford go into the house that he built. But yeah, anyways, where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I think he's on the Rams.
Correct. That makes you 1 for 1 so far.
Not the new year, but man, those bets keep on continuing. Drew, that'd be the best. If I could just bet Mystery Tiebreaker Bagman's picks, I'd be like loaded. I wouldn't have to worry. Yep, just every week. Yep.
All right, Cam. The 49ers going to Washington, take on the Commies. Commanders hosting Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback this week. 49ers coming off a disappointing performance where they got blown out by the Ravens. The scoreline was a lot closer than the game actually was at the end. Cam, 13 points is a lot, but I got to go back to the 49ers well just because I know people might be off them after what they saw from Jacoby Brissett. People might be like, oh, I don't know. But listen, Washington's defense is not the Ravens' defense. We might get like 6 touchdowns from Purdy this week, Cam. It might be like a 52-10, like angry 49ers.
This is exactly what San Francisco needs, a punching bag like Washington.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, like, they're going to go to Shanahan's going to have these guys like running laps, like the way they looked, and like everyone watched that Ravens game too, and they shit themselves, right? So here's the deal. Yep. They go into Washington. Remember what they did to Jacksonville, like off that, like the bye week when they lost 3 games in a row? They annihilated them. And that was when Jacksonville was playing well, not tanking. Yep. I like the way they're playing now. I'm going to take San Francisco to win this game by 24 points. I agree with you. We have to look at spots and situations, and this one just bodes well. And I'm happy for Brissett. The problem is you're going up against the wrong team, buddy. You wish you were playing somebody else other than San Francisco, anybody but the Niners this week.
Yeah, and like this is Shanny's dad's old team. Like there's a lot of emotion in this game, so he might be wanting to like shove it to them. And yeah, coming up, they want to just secure that 1 seed. They don't want to play with any fire with Detroit Lions now being up to grabs that 1 seed. San Fran just wants to secure it, and smacking Washington is the way to get there. All right, we're in agreement. The Raiders now going to Indianapolis, take on the Colts. Cam Minshew and those Colts laid an egg against the Falcons, like we said would happen. It was a weird line. We said the triggers, it all happened. Colts 3.5-point favorites at home. Aiden O'Connell and those Raiders beating the Chiefs, Cam. The Raiders defense all of a sudden in the last 2 weeks looks unbelievable. It looks like they have to hire this guy as their head coach, right? They don't want to screw it up like they did with Versace bread 2 years ago.
I would have hired him now. But anyway, wait till the end of the season and hire. Like, I don't know what this organization is doing. The 2 guys they've had that were basically making minimum wage were Versace and Pierce. They've been the 2 most successful coaches, and they're paying 2 morons millions of dollars, and John Gruden's still writing emails, and they're still paying that guy. Like, what the, like, honestly, isn't that hilarious? It's like drafting a player in the 7th round who's better than the 1st overall pick, and they screwed it up twice. Give me the Raiders here. Max Crosby, the mean ginger. Did you see what that guy did to Mahomes over the holidays? Like, he's relentless. Like the Chiefs, they just got murdered by the Raiders. That Raiders front 4 was killing people. Like, I don't know, man. Minshew might be coming back in a body bag. I worry about one thing, them rebounding after a tough performance. But I'm getting the hook with 3.5. The silver and black attack looks back. The Raiders look like a mean team, and they might be playing for their coach's job. He could say, hey, guys, like, do you like me hanging around here? Well, we beat the Colts, and we keep on winning and covering. I'll be your coach next year.
Well,
and they
Cam,
like me.
Don't forget,
you know?
the Raiders still have an outside shot at the playoffs at 9-8.
Yeah.
If they win these last 2 games,
you're right.
They just need some other things to swing their way. But, like, it's not crazy to say.
I think the Raiders are better than the Colts right now.
Yeah,
like it's kind of it's tough. I think their
offense isn't great. That's
the problem. Indy's got a better offense, but the Raiders, I think the Raiders have better. Like they have better. Carlson's a wicked kicker. I think their defensive line's better. Their secondary's getting better. Like the Colts' defense reeks. Their offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Cam, that Raiders Chiefs game. I don't think I've ever seen a game where the quarterback of the road team in Arrowhead didn't complete a pass for 3 straight quarters and won the football game.
Yeah,
he didn't have a single passing yard in 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, or 4th quarter. I was like, what? Like he finished the game with 62 passing yards and they won the game outright. I was like, you would think if I told you that before the game started, like, oh yeah, they didn't complete a pass quarters 2 to 4, you'd be like, oh, Chiefs won by 40.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I learned my lesson, Drew. Isn't it hilarious too, me and you, and we've talked about this before. Usually when you bet on teams that you hate, like you almost want to almost bet with your heart. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to use logic. Oh, they're at home and this and that. I don't like the Chiefs. I never have. And why? And then I put money on them, and then it makes me even angrier because I want the Raiders to win the game. So that's another thing. It made
me a Grinch on Christmas. So
I was a real Grinch too.
I
hit that Prince Igor vodka pretty hard after that game. And then the Niners game happened. Then I hit it even harder. It was a disgrace. But I cooked a good meal though. Ho 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 ho! Merry Christmas! Yeah. Great turkey, great taters.
Didn't even log into my account because I don't even.
Oh no! I don't. No, don't you do, Drew? That the next day you do the old the half. You know the squint.
You go to the settled bet section. You're like,
settled bets.
That's red.
Not a lot of green checks there. A lot of red X's. Yeah. Gotcha.
Not fun. Maybe the new year
Raiders.
Better. All right, let's go. We're both on the Raiders. The Cardinals, Cam, going to Eagles, take on the Birds, the Green Birds against the Red Birds. What are you going to pick? This is a bird matchup. You like both these teams. Eagles 10.5-point favorites at home. Cam, this is too many points. The Eagles don't deserve to be fared by this much against anybody in the NFL right now, the way they've been playing. I know people could say they went to the Super Bowl last year. They still have Jalen Hurts at quarterback. I don't care. Tyrod Taylor and the Giants almost just beat them, so give me Kyler Murray and the Cards to cover this. Eagles win, Cardinals cover.
Might be a change, but yeah, I lean Cardinals with you. Here's the thing. The Cardinals were horrible against the Bears, and oh man, Drew. So I'll not just that.
The Bears is better than the Eagles defense, Cam.
Yeah. You want to hear something awful? Not only did we get smoked on those games, other than for me, I took the Giants, and I had my fantasy playoffs. I have DJ Moore, 1 catch, 6 yards.
Oh,
Like I'm out of my fantasy league too, so that money's down the tubes. Like,
dude, I
things
DJ
couldn't have
Moore
gone
and,
worse.
and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, oh yeah, fun, good times. Anyway, I'll take the red bird over the green bird. Give me 10.5 chirps with the Cardinals. They probably lose this game right around 10. The number's pretty good.
I agree with you, Cam. Yeah, speaking of fantasy matchups, on one of my semifinals, Cam, I had Brock Purdy against Gus Edwards. I was up 6 going to the game. I lost outright because Purdy's 4 interceptions. Then he left the game before he could even throw a touchdown.
Dude, me and you have a lot in common. We should go hit the eggnog with things in it.
All right.
Yeah,
the Saints going to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers, Cam. NFC South on the line. If the Bucs win this game, they secure the division. Boy. Give me New Orleans. Am I crazy?
Drew, you know what? I'm sticking. I got away from my habits this holiday season. Too much thinking, too much analysis. Be who you are. Know what? Know who you are. Find traps. That's who I am, and that's how I am
this got
successful.
All over,
I got out of my game, tried to think logically, and look what it done. It got me pummeled. Give me the Saints. 20, nobody's going to bet these guys this week. Tampa,
80% already on Tampa, Cam.
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You know what? He's playing great, but you know what? I can see the Saints just showing up, winning this game outright. Drew, this is a true test of our traps. I'm taking the Saints, and I think they can win the game. Give me the 3 with the Saints. I have a feeling this is like the trap of the week. I love the Saints. So you're
like we say every time when the card says 80% on one side, you bet the other way. And I'd say at least 90% of the time this season we've been right when we go against the public when it's this hard. This line should be like 4.5, 5.5 towards Tampa. It's only 3. They're laying that bait, getting people in there going like bet on Tampa, bet on Tampa, bet on Tampa. All of a sudden, Derek Carr and the Saints win by 10, and everyone's like, "Whoa, how did that happen?"
Yeah,
be on the Saints side in this game, guys.
Well, let's talk about what happened at Christmas. Raiders beat Kansas City. Giants hanging around. All the team. Baltimore, dog, right? So, yeah, anything could happen.
Exactly. All right, we're both in agreement. Now, the Atlanta Falcons coming off a big win for us against the Chicago Bears, and their defense coming off another big win. Cam, the Falcons won last week. Everyone's saying they're back on the track. I'm taking Chicago.
I'm with the Bears as well.
Their defense is too good for this Atlanta offense.
It looks like the Bears' Eberflus might have saved his job. Another thing is, at home they've been pretty decent. I know Fields is going to make some mistakes, but you take Atlanta away from the safe confines of Mercedes-Benz Field, and now they got to roll into the cold tundra in Chicago at Soldier Field. There, the Bears, they took care of business against the Cardinals. I got to be honest with you, the Bears at 6-9. If the season would have started in the second half, they'd be a better team. They were just horrible at the start of the year, like the worst team in the league, and they've kind of turned it around.
Well,
so
they didn't have Fields either, right? So
yeah, they did. They're 6-3-1 ATS in their last 10 too, so they are covering numbers. People are going to think Atlanta is a nice juicy 3. I think the Bears win this game by a touchdown. Give me Chicago.
I'm in agreement, Cam. I think their defense is too good for the Atlanta Falcons offense. And I think they could honestly, this could be a shutout. The way the Falcons don't use Bijan Robinson at all anymore. I was seeing Algier break touchdowns is so frustrating. I'm just like,
I got Bijan Robinson on my team too. I'm like, you know what, Atlanta? Not only you're just pissing me off.
Arthur Smith or Art Smith, because no one wants to be called Arthur. Yeah. Just terrible coach.
I think they should can him. He reeks.
All right, Carolina and the Panthers going to Jacksonville take on the Jaguars. 2 cats, Cam. We got 2 birds and 2 cats.
What is going on here? Cat on cat hate, and we got bird on bird hate. We got a lot of.
This is week of confusion for Cam Stewart's betting stuff.
My betting trends. Yeah, you're right.
Your betting trends aren't going to work this week.
If I were to tell you, Drew, the Carolina Panthers have covered 2 weeks in a row, you'd say I'm crazy.
And if you go back to the well here, I wouldn't blame you, Cam. Where are you going?
Carolina. I think I'm betting on Jacksonville right now. That team sucks. They're horrible. Like, you watch that game against Tampa Bay, like, I don't care. It's Carolina or nothing. If they murder them, they murder them. I just don't get it. Like, I think they're one of the worst teams in, like, Trevor Lawrence, if he plays, I feel better about this bet. If Bethany plays, I might get off it. No, Drew, he's been awful. They got murdered by Tampa Bay. Jacksonville sucks. Like, can't get, like, they're not good. They're not a good team anymore.
Either, though.
No, Carolina's horrible. Good. But you know what they're doing? They put up 30 against Green Bay and covered. That's what they're doing.
That was insane. Green Bay just blew that game. Like, they were smoking them, and then
anyway, I'm taking Carolina, and nobody's. I honestly, that line's gone from 7 to, is it 6.5 now? You're telling me, okay, so people are betting Carolina. See, that's a problem. Okay, but I don't care. I'm sticking with my cats. I've been with them the last 2 weeks. I'm not off them now. The Jaguars are dead to me.
Well, you're going against cats too, so.
I'm going to be honest, Drew. Like, the fact that he couldn't even cover like a super teaser Jacksonville, that was another reason what got me in like sad. I was having a great Sunday, and I'm like, these Jaguars suck. Like, they're just like they got pummeled in that game.
I got to go Jacksonville though, Cam. I can't trust Carolina. I know they've covered 2 straight games. I just can't do it. Jacksonville's
No.
playoff lives, like they can't lose again, Cam. Houston can win this game this week, and all of a sudden they're not even in the playoffs anymore. Jacksonville could fall out of the playoffs if they lose this football game. You got Carolina. It's an easy layup for you. The schedule makers were like, here you go, Jags. Get in the playoffs. I think they pummel them by like 20 to 30 points. I think this is Trevor Lawrence coming out of his cage, throwing 4 touchdowns, and they smoke Carolina.
Guys hurt, but we'll see. If you can't beat Carolina by more than 6,
you got big problems.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be in the playoffs. I'll take Carolina.
All right, where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on?
Bagman's on John Jaguar all day.
Correct. John Jaguar, the simplest name.
Johnny Jag? Yeah.
All right.
Remember there was a show called
Miami
Jag.
Dolphins.
Yeah,
that's true. It could be that. The number 1 seed in the AFC on the line, Cam. Miami against Baltimore. The Bills behind me need Baltimore to win. Said that Week 18 comes down for the AFC East and possibly the 2 seed. But if Miami wins this football game, though, it's all she wrote. Miami can lock up the 1 seed in Week 18. Cam, huge stuff on the line for this football game. Baltimore coming off a huge win over the 49ers. Dolphins coming off a huge win over the Cowboys. Both teams in a spot for a letdown. Which team ultimately lets their fans down? You tell me.
Well, I like Miami, and I know a lot of Ravens fans are at me, and we were both on San Francisco. Hey, I've been on the Ravens that week. Remember they murdered? What was the week that? No, Detroit murdered them. I've got a pretty good read on the Ravens.
I've been against the Ravens in all 3 of their losses.
This team has been good to me until last week. I needed them to lay an egg, but that's on the Niners. That's not on the Ravens. So I'm going to take Miami. I think this team, ultimately, Baltimore feeling great about beating San Francisco. Teams that play San Francisco too, usually, even though they had an easy time, they can still wear you down a little bit. Miami, on the other hand, Dallas isn't as physical. I'm going to take the 3.5 with Miami. I think they can win outright, Drew, and this sets up everything. If Baltimore loses this game, they're both 12-4. That's wild. I'll take Miami.
I'm going to go with the Ravens here, Cam. I think Miami, like we said last week, I apologize to Dolphins fans chirping me. They never beat a team above 500 until last week. They finally did it.
Listen, it depends where you got that spread, too. 2.5, 1.5, whatever. Push.
Yeah. But if Tony Pollard knew how to get in the end zone, Cam, Dallas would have won that football game.
And they fumbled the first drive on the freaking half-yard line. So
the guy has wide open lane to the outside pylon, and he's like, no, I'm going to cut this inside into a linebacker.
I know. What an idiot.
What are you doing?
You're right. That was so many mistakes. I can't believe Dallas didn't win that game.
Yeah, it's insane to me. But yeah, I'm going the Ravens here, Cam. I think their defense is too good for Tua and the Dolphins' offense. I could see this being like 24-17, lower scoring game than people think. Give me the Ravens to cover and win this football game, set up a big Week 18 AFC East matchup. Maybe it's my subconscious cheering for this to happen. I just think Baltimore's a better football team. I don't think Miami's 1 seed material. And if they do get the 1 seed in the AFC, I think other teams will be happy to go to Miami on the road in the playoffs, Cam. That's not really oh no, we're going to Miami. Would you be scared to go to Miami in the playoffs?
No, but they're a good football team.
Exactly. All right, where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I think he's going to take the Ravens.
Ooh, incorrect. Surprisingly, wow. I was shocked too. I was like, what? I was like, aren't you a Bills fan? You're not taking the Ravens? He was like, no, I don't feel it. And I was like, all right. On Miami, Cam. I was shocked too.
Very shocking.
I think maybe it's reverse juju. He's like trying to get the pick in to make the other thing happen.
I agree.
That doesn't work though. All right, Tennessee going to Houston, take on the Titans. The Titans might have Stroud back. I don't know. This concussion protocol is scary now. It's taking longer than I thought. No word on officially if he's going to play or not. But Tannehill also ankle sprain. We don't know who's going to be quarterback for the Titans. Might be Willis for all we know. Yeah, Cam, this game has so many questions.
If Malik Willis plays for Tennessee, Houston, I think, will murder them. So I'll take Houston now.
I agree.
Right? It's hard, though. Like, I looked at Tennessee, too, and go 4-4.
If Tannehill plays, I think Titans win this game outright.
I kind of, you know what? See, this is why we do part 2 of the show, for reasons like this. Like, we're taping this thing early. We don't know. But so that's the thing. We need to find out the status of these quarterbacks before we put our final bets in. I will take Houston now. I believe Stroud will play. And I think it might be Malik Willis. I think Tannehill, he's had so many injuries in his career, and they're a 5-10 football team.
Like, he might be just permanent backup after this
season. I agree with you. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I'll go with Houston too because I think Stroud has to be back. Like, could it take 4 weeks for a concussion? Yes, obviously. Like, head injuries are an iffy subject, a touchy subject. They can take forever for some people.
Yep.
But I think he comes back. Playoff lives on the line. Tennessee coming to their house with Malik Willis potentially at quarterback. Maybe Tannehill. If it's Tannehill and not Stroud, I'm going to switch this when we repick on Friday. But we'll see. Right now, we'll go with Houston while the line is what it is. All right. The New England Patriots going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Patriots, big win over the Broncos last week, Cam. The Bills at home, 11.5-point favorites. They need this win. Not reverse line movement. Actually, people are betting on the Patriots and the spread. They think it's too big. I'm going the other way, Cam. I'm going on the Bills. I think they finally blow one of these sucker teams out of the water. Payback for what New England did to them in Foxborough. This is in Buffalo, a different story. I don't think Bailey Zappi is going to score enough to keep this up.
I agree. I love the fact that New England looked good against Denver and found a way to win the game. Now we're getting 11.5. I'd lay up to 14 with Buffalo in this spot. Buffalo also got a lesson learned by don't be complacent going in and playing the Chargers team with Easton Stick. Mm-hmm. You guys got lucky there. Like they got you a little bit of the football gods kind of got them a break.
Dude, Dicker the kicker. What a game for him.
That guy's awesome. Maybe the commercial's right. 8 doinks with Dicker, right? Doink, 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 doink. Anyway, that's pretty funny actually. Or, Travis Kelce's mom wants to hook up with Jimmy Garoppolo. I got to give those ads credit. Give me Buffalo by 14. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills in December. Buffalo, I actually think they win this game by 20 points.
Yeah, I think so too. And Josh Allen, the one team he loves to play is the New England Patriots, besides the last time they played. Listen, if they don't allow Mac Jones to go 90 yards in the final 2 minutes, they'll be fine in this one.
Yep.
All right, moving on. The Steelers going to Seattle, take on your Seahawks. Seahawks coming off big win, Cam. Steelers, big win for them. Playoff lives on the line for both teams. I'll let you start here. 5.5 or 3.5 points.
Seattle, and I'm a fan. I'm very happy with the way they played. They could have lost to Philly.
They could have lost. Drew Lock at quarterback.
I
was like, how is he not in the game right now?
Drew, no one listens to me. Like, remember, I tell people in these other shows about backup quarterbacks. Gabe's been saying it too. Like, everyone laughs at us with it because we make backups. I'm telling you, Drew Lock is just. I think he's actually better than Geno Smith. He makes less mistakes. The thing about Drew Lock is
they would have blown the Tennessee Titans out of the water.
Yes, Drew Lock is a fine quarterback. And another thing is he's actually he has better legs than Geno Smith. People don't know. Drew Lock is fast. Like he's a very effective quarterback. He's a good athlete. He also is fresh because he's been on the bench with so many teams. Like let the guy go out there. Like, you know what? I hate to say this. Seattle, I think, might win this game by 3. That hook is huge. Pittsburgh with Mason Rudolph is playing well. Seattle hasn't been playing that well. I know it's a must-win game. They're 2-4-1 ATS on the road. It's not like they're world beaters at home. I told you they win games more on the road. They beat Philadelphia, and I'm so proud of them for that. But I'm also looking at this game realistically. I would take the points with Pittsburgh here. Give me Pittsburgh 3.5. I think Seattle wins, maybe on a last-second field goal. It's going to be close.
I love the Steelers in this spot, Cam. It might be in my minerals. Sorry to say this to your Seahawks.
No, I know, but Drew, I'm real about it. I'm real.
If Locke was starting at quarterback, I might go the other way, but he's not. And I think the Steelers defense can give Geno all the problems in the world. I wouldn't say Browning's much worse than Geno Smith, Cam, as a quarterback at that level of play.
I'd rather have Browning.
Yeah, he might be better.
No, for the future, if you don't think Browning's better than Geno Smith in the future, you're not watching football. Browning's going to figure it out. He's a kid. He'll get better and better and better.
Like you said, Seattle's been struggling at home this season, weirdly, because usually that's the place they play well. 2-4-1 ATS. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game outright, not just cover, Cam, and maybe take a big blow to the Seattle Seahawks playoff hopes.
I hate to say it too, Drew, but I'm a realist. I think I'm going to put Seattle in teasers and stuff.
And don't forget, Cam, those NFL Zebras will definitely be on the black and yellow side of the football game.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl revisited. Even in Seattle, it won't matter. They'll take Pitt. Yeah, honestly, good call by you.
The NFL's a ratings machine. They're like, what team will give us better ratings in the playoffs? Oh, the Steel Town will, that's for sure. All right, Cincinnati going to Kansas City, take on the Chiefs. Chiefs, losers of 3 of the last 4. They didn't even look good in their one win, Cam. They're reeling. They're only 7-point favorites at home. Everyone's betting on Cincinnati in the public. And like we've said every time, once you get off someone, you get back on. We got back on last week. It was still wrong.
We were 1 week too early. We take them
I
this
can't
week.
Bet on Cincinnati here. I have to bet with KC. 7 points.
Cincinnati reeks. Other than when Burrow went down, and honest to God, they're 8-7. I know they're we could still do it. Look at all the teams that are 8-7. Pittsburgh. There's a million of them, right?
Pittsburgh,
it's just
Denver,
all of
Denver's
them.
7-8 now.
Denver is 7-8. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. There's all the teams that are 7-8 or 8-7. Kansas City needs to figure it out. They're a 9-6 football team right now. Andy Reid's going to have them ready to go. I think Kansas City wins this game by 10. I got to take Kansas City. And if they don't cover again, Drew, then we got real problems.
Cam, isn't this crazy that this is going to be the first year ever that Mahomes has to play a road playoff
game?
Game?
Good. I want to see them on the road. After what you did to me in my wallet on Thanksgiving, Cam, and I didn't bet on the Raiders. I'm so stupid. I should have known the Raiders were going to be up for that game. I'm such an idiot. I made a lot of bad decisions on Christmas Day, man.
Weirdly, the Raiders are still open to win the division. I saw the Chiefs would have to lose the last 2 games and Raiders win their last 2. But I was like,
Yep.
you know what? I hope it happens because I would just laugh.
I would
Imagine
too.
the Chiefs going 9-8. I don't
The
think
Raiders
they'd lose a small
deserve
game.
better with all the crap that's happened this year. Kansas City, I know they haven't had, but they've had their team. Mahomes hasn't been hurt. There've been no problems. Like you're not like whatever, man. I'm taking them this week, and if they don't cover this week, then I don't know what to say.
I think they will, and I think that's going to set up the Chiefs hosting the Bills in round 1, and which I'm not excited for because no one wants to play Mahomes and Arrowhead in the playoffs. But I think that's what's going to happen. All right, we're both on the Chiefs. Cam, the Chargers going to Denver, take on the Broncos. Broncos 5.5-point home favorites.
Yep.
They just lost to New England. Easton Stick and the Chargers almost just beat the Buffalo Bills. Probably should have won that football game when they led the turnover battle, the yards battle, the time possession. It was a really good game by the Chargers and their new coach. These coach boosts, Cam, with new coaches, I think Chargers might win this game. Am I crazy?
I don't know what to think. This game's tough. I'm going to take the Chargers for now, but there's one thing I got to think. Like, was that their game where they gave it all against Buffalo and then kind of like come back to earth in Denver? Denver's got a lot of issues.
They played well the week before too, though, with Easton. Oh no, they didn't. They got smoked by the Raiders.
I'll take the Chargers, Drew, but this game has got trouble written all over it. It's like it's a dangerous game, but I'll take the Lightning Bolts. 5.5 is too many. Denver doesn't have the offense to pull away and cover by number, and like they lose to New England. Like I'll take.
That's
the
what I mean.
Chargers.
The Denver offense. This game has like 13-10 written all over it, where the Denver Broncos could win. But 5.5 is too many points. I got to go blindly on the Chargers in the spot game, especially with the public being so heavily on the Denver side. I don't like public favorites. It's never a good bet, Cam.
Never a good bet. No, if we stuck to our system, we could have been on Baltimore and the Raiders and had a Merry Christmas. Instead, we didn't.
Yep, instead we didn't. All right, Sunday night football, Cam. The Minnesota Vikings hosting the Green Bay Packers. Both these teams probably not making the playoffs. Maybe if one of them wins the last 2, they can. But Minnesota, Cam, 3.5 or 1.5 point favorites at home. Packers, disappointing performance against Carolina. They still pulled out the victory. Jordan Love looked pretty good. I think he's earning this chance to play again for them next year. I know people at the beginning of the year were saying like you can't go with this guy next season.
No. Drew, like Green Bay they're not drafting him. They'll draft a quarterback to back him up.
No. But I'm saying people were saying like they might go sign Kirk Cousins or something. Love let go.
Give the kid a break. Like what kind of world are we living in? You got to give a couple quarterbacks a couple years to figure it out. This isn't like,
but this is year 4 for him. That's why people were like, he's already.
I get it, but you know what? He's advanced. He deserves a chance. I like Minnesota in this game. They should have won that game last time. You know what, Drew? Here's the deal.
I agree with you.
But TJ Hawkinson's out. I know it's Mullins.
That's what I mean. Addison's probably out too.
This is a disaster. I don't know what to do.
I'm going to go Green Bay just because Minnesota's injuries, Cam. I don't think they can score as much on the offensive side. But then again, Carolina just put up 30 on Green Bay last week. So I don't.
I'm taking
Minnesota. This game might come down to like the last second before the game starts. I'll be like, I don't know which one I'm going to bet. I'm going to base it on like what I like in warmups. Like I don't know. Like it'll be weird. But for the show, I'm going to go Green Bay just because of the Vikings injuries.
And for the show, I'll go Minnesota, but we could change it. Drew, these last games got teasers and stuff written all over. These numbers are too tight. Like imagine we could get the Chargers
teaser on this game. I think hits both.
Yeah. You get Chargers at 12.5, or you get Green Bay at 8.5. Like, but I think Minnesota wins by a field goal. I'll take Minnesota. Tough game though.
All right, where do you think Mystery Bagman is on this one?
Minnesota.
Correct. So 4-1 on your tiebreaker picks this week. Pretty good. All right, now let's get into our best bets of the week. Brought to you by Sports Interaction. Head on over to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN for the latest odds. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. We're going to give you our gold, silver, and our bronze selections. And apologize to the viewers for us not coming out yesterday. I saw some comments on Twitter and on the YouTube channel going like, "Where's the show? Where's the show?" Listen, we have lives too. We needed a holiday.
Drew as a family, okay, guys. I have a girlfriend and I take care of my parents, cook them dinner. Hey, we'll try to get out there when we find out the quarterback news. We'll try to get up.
I got some beef, Cam, with Best Buy. If you're listening.
Dude, they're the worst company. Actually, I'm going to rip them too because I remember they came in there. They saved me a microphone. I went in to get it and they sold it. And they made me go to square
one.
And
sold it?
Oh yeah, honest to God, that company to me never order anything from them. They want to they're the worst.
So we got a bunch of gift cards. We're trying to buy something. I won't say what it is, but I go to buy it online because the Boxing Day sale. Oh, you can only use one gift card per transaction.
Okay.
What?
That makes sense.
I have 8 gift cards. They add up to the amount I need for the product. Oh, you got to go in the store, sir, if you have more than one gift card.
Dude, that company blows.
What? It's money. What are you talking about? Someone paid for this. Like,
I guess they're not going to be a future sponsor. They wouldn't have been anyway, but I'm telling you, I ordered a product online for them. It was a microphone. I go there. They don't even have it in stock. I lost my mind. And Drew, square one, there's like 1,000 kids in there.
God.
Like it ruined my whole day. I lost my car in the underground. Like I was raging. I had steam coming out my ears. I'm telling you, I'm never going back to that store. I'll only order from like whatever, a close store, whatever. You said it. I've had a bad experience with them too a couple times. So
yeah, I almost want to sell my gift cards online.
Yep.
But yeah, anyways, let's get into our best bets of the week, Cam. Our bronze, silver, and gold selections. Where are you going to go with your bronze pick?
Drew, I'm going to do something really horribly here, but I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3.5 against my Seahawks. I'm just hoping the Seahawks win the game, but I got a real bad feeling about this week. And it's Pittsburgh for bronze. And if I got to pull the old George Kurtz at Sports Grid, my buddy. So if Seattle wins and covers, it's good because it's good for me. And the other way, like usually you don't want to go against your team and stuff like that. I'm not betting on Pittsburgh, but I'll find ways to put Seattle in massive teasers or Pittsburgh in massive teasers because I think Pittsburgh is a live dog to win outright. So I'll take the 3.5.
Cam, my bronze selection is the same team. I think they win outright. I don't think this game, unless Drew Lock starts at quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, I am very confident in this pick. Give me the Steelers as my bronze selection. We're both on the same side. This usually works out pretty well when we're both on the same side. What is your silver selection? Let's see if you're in the same ballpark again.
My silver selection will not be your silver selection because we're opposites on the game. I'll take the New York Football Giants plus 5.5 with Tyrod Taylor against the Rams. Everybody loving the Rams. Stock couldn't be higher. This is exactly what happened when Green Bay went into the Giants, and that game was a thriller. I think the Giants can win outright. I will take 5.5. I love the fact that people are betting the Rams too. Giants.
All right, Cam. I like that pick. My silver selection will be the Chicago Bears hosting the Atlanta Falcons. I think their defense is too good for the Atlanta Falcons to score enough points to cover this number. Give me Chicago at home as my silver.
And gold, we will go with, Drew, the trap of the week. New Orleans Saints plus 3 against Tampa Bay. If I got to put my money where my mouth is. Usually these traps work for us. I didn't listen to myself on the weekend, and look what happened. It reverted back to a horrible situation. I got to stick to, you know what? Do what works for you. Stick to your system and don't ever derive from it. The minute you do, bad things are going to happen. If I lose this game, I don't care, but I think the Saints are in a great spot at plus 3. The world thinks Tampa Bay is going to win this game, and I see a letdown spot here. Saints.
I love that pick too, Cam. If I had my minerals, if we had a fourth one, it would be the Saints just because we have to bet it. But my goal this week is the Kansas City Chiefs -7 at home against the Bengals. I don't think Cincinnati's in the same league as the Chiefs, even if it's just the Chiefs' defense, not the offense. I know the offense is struggling, but 7 points is too little, Cam. At some point, this Chiefs team has to wake up, and I think we were on them a bit too early last week.
Yeah.
The division game, it's iffy. I switched off the Raiders to the Chiefs on our Thursday show. I shouldn't have done it.
Nope.
Give me the Chiefs at this spot as my gold. I love them this week. Give me them, and if you can tease them down to just a pick 'em, Cam, are you kidding me? Like it's just, I have to do it.
I'm with you, buddy. I think Cincinnati. I think the Chiefs kill them. We're on a lot of the same stuff this week, so hopefully we have a good week. And we've only differed on maybe how many games? 5, 4 or 5, and things could change even less than that going into next week. But you know what, Drew? Keep our head up, buddy. It was a real tough one. You know what the worst is on Christmas too, when you're not working and stuff, you put more money on the games. That's what made it worse. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
I'm like,
I work so hard to make
I'm
money.
Yeah, okay.
You know when you have a great year, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going my business, taking my dogs, 10 and whatever, and then it's Christmas. Let's go nuts and try to pay for Christmas. It doesn't work.
Nope.
Every time I go nuts, bad things happen. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you don't chase your losses. That's a good tip from us.
Oh, I do. You know what?
But you shouldn't.
Yeah, no. And I'm an old guy. Don't do it. People, let me save you time and grief. I've done it. And I learned for a long time, and I fall back into those old traps. Don't do it. You got to find a way to just say enough is enough.
I was with my buddy Cam. He was like, "Oh, I just lost." He lost $250 on the Giants game because he put the Eagles spread, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna put $500 on San Fran, and I was like, oh man,
here we go. It sounds like me.
You don't chase your losses. You don't chase your losses.
and how did that work out? Not well.
Yeah, not good. I was like, and now he's like, oh, I guess I'm putting $1,000 on the game next week. I was like, okay, good luck. It's like, not a good formula.
Well. No.
All right, Cam, before we get out of here, I just want to talk to you about the MVP award because I see that's in debates everywhere all over the internet. Right now, Lamar Jackson, -160 favorite, but statistically, he would be the worst MVP in the last 8-9 years, I think it was. But I think because of the Ravens' record, he's going to get it.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. He's the best player on the best team. I agree with that. The only thing is, stats-wise, there's an argument for CMC, Tyreek Hill, and Josh Allen because they all lead the league in their categories. If you had to say on paper, Lamar Jackson, 24 touchdowns, 13 turnovers, or Josh Allen, 40 touchdowns, 17 turnovers.
I don't care. It's the way Lamar plays, Drew, and he's going to have more turnovers because of the way he plays. Listen, for people watching the show and you want to mock me and Drew, we told you weeks ago, and I'll give Gabe credit. We said the same thing on our show. We said the best bet on the board is Lamar Jackson at 9-1 when we bet him as MVP, because we looked at their situation. And listen, Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill, those are the 3 on the ballot, and Josh Allen I would put 4. But Lamar Jackson, he's not going to have great stats because that's the style that they play. You have to look what he's done. Like, look what he's done for the team. MVP, most valuable player. Where would the Baltimore Ravens be without Lamar Jackson? In the gut.
See, but I can push back on that. Last year they made the playoffs with Huntley, and Huntley.
Yeah, but Jackson's played even better now, and he's beaten good teams.
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm just saying that's the good pushback is their defense is playing so well.
I get it. Yeah, I know. But do you not agree?
I'm in agreement, Cam. I'm just thinking, like, right now, Allen's at 19-1, and I think that's good value. If they win the last 2 games and get the 2 seed in the AFC, he's scoring 90% of the Bills' touchdowns. No one's ever scored that many of their team's touchdowns. Yeah. It's just like Lamar's 50% of his team's touchdowns. Allen's 90%. I think if there's a long shot, I think you could throw $20 on Josh Allen right now.
I like Allen. Don't get me wrong, Drew. Me and you, we take the Bills a lot, but there's a lot of also moving parts and pieces. He's a great, my opinion, a great quarterback. Still makes a few dumb mistakes, but Lamar has done more for the Ravens. Like, that's just my pick. Like, I like Lamar Jackson.
I agree with you. I was just saying, I like Richard Sherman. I've seen him say is statistically it'd be the worst MVP season ever.
I don't care what he says. Richard Sherman says.
I know. It's just hard when you're like, what's your argument for MVP? You're like, watch the games. It's like, okay, but voters and writers aren't going to be like, oh, I watched.
That's the problem. They rely on stats, which is not
exactly
true. You have to have the eye test to understand.
No, but that's why I think a couple bucks on Allen to win MVP might be worth it, because they might be looking at the scoreboard and be like, oh, stats wise, Allen's leading this.
No, you're right.
That's all I'm saying, Cam. Right now, Cam, your Jacksonville Jaguars Super Bowl pick not looking the greatest for them to make the Super Bowl.
It started out pretty well. I want to take a dark horse, but yeah, that's the end of that. I hope I hope the Bills. If the Bills can find a way in there, I hope they run the table and go to the Super Bowl and finally win a Super Bowl.
I hope so. I did pick the Ravens against the Eagles in our Super Bowl preview or our season preview show, so my pick's looking a lot better than your Jags against the 49ers. That's for sure. Or Jags Cowboys was your pick.
Jags Cowboys, yes. Yeah, wow, you're coming at me now. That's good news for me. Now the Cowboys are going a big run, go to the Super Bowl, upset everybody.
Oh, dude, the NFL would lose their shit if the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Would be the best rated Super Bowl ever.
Cowboys and Bills, a rematch from the old days. They'd love that.
I think they
probably prefer Cowboys and Chiefs or Cowboys and Ravens even. Actually, you know what? San Francisco, they'll do fine too. Like, what teams don't they want there? Jaguars. Like,
Dolphins.
What teams? Seahawks, they probably couldn't care less for. Yeah.
The Rams don't really have a fan base. I don't know.
But they won a Super Bowl.
Anyways, let's get out of here. We'll be back on Friday to give up your pick updates and share our props for the weekend. And maybe update our best bets, which Cam every week has done that. His gold, silver, and bronze always change. We'll see if that changes this week.
It was good last week. I changed all the changes were good. Most of them.
That's true. I agree with that. Well, the one you convinced me to change off the Raiders to the Chiefs, and that ended up not working.
That's the only change that didn't work. God, I see what I'm giving you. Bad advice.
But you did make me go off Denver, or no, you didn't. I stayed on Denver.
I told you to take New England.
You did tell me, but I didn't listen. I should have listened. Anyways, that stuff happens. We will see you on Friday for the update show. Thank you for joining us. Please click like. Please click subscribe. Please comment how much you love the show and your favorite picks of the week, and maybe you'll see a few comments from me and Cam in there as well. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
This has been Drew and Stu.
Powered by Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Always remember to bet local.
Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.